Some mirrors do not show your face. They show the person you have slowly become, not in a single day, not after one mistake, but after years of becoming exactly who everyone expected you to be. At first it feels harmless. You smile when you should smile. You agree when it feels easier than explaining yourself. You learn which parts of you people praise and which parts make them uncomfortable. So little by little, you hide those parts away. Most people believe losing themselves happens all at once. They imagine some dramatic moment that changes everything. But that is rarely how it happens. It happens quietly. Every small compromise feels reasonable. Every silence seems necessary. Every version of yourself that disappears feels too small to notice, until one day, you no longer recognize the person making your choices. The strange thing is that everyone else may think you're doing well. They see someone successful, responsible, mature, confident. But inside, something feels strangely unfamiliar, like living in a house that still has your name on the door, yet no longer feels like home. Some people lose themselves at work. They become the employee everyone depends on, until they forget what they actually wanted. Some lose themselves inside relationships, shaping every opinion around another person's approval. Others disappear inside their families, becoming the reliable one, the strong one, the quiet one, until even they cannot remember what they were like before the role became their identity. The mirror never forced this to happen. It simply reflected every version you chose to become, every time you ignored your own voice because someone else's sounded louder, every time you stayed silent to keep the peace, every time you accepted a life that felt safe instead of true. The reflection changed with you, even when you did not notice. One day, you finally stop long enough to look. The face is familiar, the eyes are familiar, but something feels missing, not because you became someone else overnight, but because you slowly stopped becoming yourself. We often blame the world for making us feel invisible. We blame our jobs, our families, our past, other people. But the mirror quietly asks a different question. Who have you been trying to convince all these years? The people around you or yourself? Every morning, the mirror reflected exactly the same thing. It never judged you. It never asked you to be more successful, more attractive, more impressive, or more acceptable. It simply reflected whoever stood before it. The person who kept changing was never the mirror. Somewhere along the way, many of us stop asking, "What do I want?" We replace that question with quieter ones. What should I do? What will people think? What if they are disappointed? Little by little, our own voice becomes harder to hear beneath everyone else's expectations. Then something unexpected happens. The mirror begins to crack, not because it is breaking, but because the version you've been protecting can no longer hide the one you've been ignoring. Sometimes the cracks are painful. A relationship ends. A career no longer feels meaningful. A dream you buried suddenly refuses to stay buried. What feels like your life falling apart may actually be the moment your real self begins to appear. We usually think healing means becoming someone new, but perhaps healing has never been about becoming. Perhaps it has always been about remembering the parts of yourself that existed long before you learned how to impress people, long before you became who everyone expected you to be. The difficult part isn't seeing the truth, Most people recognize it the moment they become quiet enough to look. The difficult part is accepting what comes next, because if you finally admit that you've been living someone else's version of your life, then every tomorrow becomes your responsibility. That is why many people continue wearing familiar masks, not because they enjoy them, but because they have forgotten what it feels like to live without them. Familiarity can feel safer than honesty. Even when honesty is the only thing that can bring peace, the mirror never stole your identity. It patiently waited while you search for yourself everywhere else, in success, in approval, in achievement, in the opinions of people who never truly knew you. And all this time, it continued reflecting the same quiet invitation. Maybe you were never searching for a new face. Maybe you were only searching for the courage to recognize the one that had been waiting for you all along. The mirror did not learn your face. It learned every version you were willing to become. The question is, when you stand before it tomorrow, whose face will be looking back?